This episode of the Naetopic podcast is brought to you by dinner. I can't wait to bomb some dodongos. Yo, what up, boy? This is episode 8 of the Naetopic podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Martin, and I'm joined by... What's your name, son?
I think it's Kenny Scobie.
Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? Is this your first time on the show?
It's my third time on the show.
I said first time, but...
I thought you said third.
I don't know. I mean, I'm speaking in some sort of accent, but you know, whatever. I'm just kidding. It's your usual host. So what's up, man? How you been?
Oh, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a...
Been up to much? Yeah.
Enjoying the nice weather that we have had very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past month or so, we've kind of had a shit show with snow and whatnot, but seems that everything's back to normal. Seems springtime has finally arrived.
Yeah.
And this is certainly an exciting time of the month. Almost the end of April. And Kenny, I believe, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, that's right. Avengers tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Midnight. It's actually tomorrow, pretty much. It's got 5 past midnight. But it's technically counted as tonight.
I'm seeing it on Friday, so tomorrow is going to be hellish for me. You know, just
yeah.
You've been seeing all the advertisements. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you've been seeing all these posts that Thanos demands your silence and whatnot. You know,
Yeah.
Lots of people are being very strict. But then I've been seeing these posts that there are folk who are seeing it advance who are being like, "Oh, I can't wait to tell everyone about this film," and it's like, oh, man. This is a really big film, so any sort of spoiler for me I see before Friday is going to kill me inside, and it's tearing me up inside. I just don't want to risk seeing any spoilers until I actually see the film, because I've been waiting for this film for so fucking long.
Yeah.
I just don't want it ruined for me before I get to experience it myself.
Exactly, me too. That's my feeling towards it. Hence why I bought tickets for the night. I quickly took one of the last few tickets there.
If I never worked really early on a Thursday, I probably would have done the same.
Yeah.
But unfortunately.
So, what's our topics for today?
Well, we have another storytime episode, and we have a certain topic we're talking about, which goes back to our roots when we were, really younger,
Yeah.
video editing and all that sort of stuff.
Because video editing is something that, it was when we were doing, you were editing and, videos in high school and stuff like that. But it's just continued on as it's gone on, basically, through high school and now after high school, just the other day.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I don't do it nearly as much as I did back then because...
Well,
busy, whatnot, and I just don't have the time to just run around and make random videos like I used to.
Yeah, because back in the day, it used to be. You're the one that's been editing videos longer. So where did it start for you, Andrew?
Well, I guess we're going way, way back. One Christmas, I think it was Christmas 2005. My mum and dad got me this. It was this very small camera. One you could fit in your pocket, but it looked just like a regular camcorder, like the VHS ones, except it had a memory card. I think it was like one of the very early ones. I wouldn't exactly call it HD, but the quality was passable for 2005.
All right.
So the first video I think I did was I think I filmed a Christmas dinner I was having at, I think it was my aunt's or my grandma's. I can't really remember exactly.
Yeah.
But, I was just sort of filming, having fun. And back then I didn't really have as many friends to, film stuff with. So it was sort of just me taking my toys and just filming them, me moving about, I had these, you ever heard, gonks?
No.
Okay, they're like the hairy troll dolls.
Oh, yeah.
I
know them.
I used to have lots of them.
All right.
So they seem to be like the main focus of these mini films.
Actually, I feel like you may have shown me maybe one of these before.
It wouldn't surprise me if I had any of them left as some sort of archive and whatnot, but I don't think I do. But anyway, I think I filmed these in my old house, in my old kitchen. These 2 gonks. I didn't do the voices because I don't know why, but I just put subtitles in place of the speech and whatnot.
All right, okay.
I don't know why I never did the voices. I think I eventually did later on. I think I did a couple of these.
Yeah.
And I just called them Gonk Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And this was when I was getting my first hand in video editing, because this was before I got the likes of Sony Vegas and Adobe Premiere. This is back in Windows Movie Maker territory. And I heard of the program, but it sounded much bigger to me before I even tried it. I was like, wow, Movie Maker, is this like Hollywood sort of stuff? And I was like, oh boy, was I wrong. And so I clicked on it. I was like, okay, what's this? And then I was experimenting around with that, you know, add titles, add credits, add effects. I was like, add music. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I can make so many great movies with this. It's like my 10-year-old mind telling me. So eventually I was just learning myself. I put the memory card in the computer with the stuff I filmed. I play about with that, and then I render the movies. I play it back, and I'm like, Mom, Dad, I made my first movie. And then that just led to other stuff throughout the years where, you know, eventually I got out, and it was around the time I met Mina, and then of course we were started doing our own things. We did our own Doctor Who sort of things, which...
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, who hasn't done their own Doctor Who movies
Exactly,
and whatnot when they were
yeah.
younger? Admit it, guys, admit it.
Hey, you didn't even watch Doctor Who, and you still... It's Mina that watched Doctor Who, wasn't it?
He was
convinced you into going...
he was a big fan of the David Tennant era of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not a Doctor Who fan, I understand why people like it. I just never had the time to watch it, which, you know, it's fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. So we made a Doctor Who series in his house.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed it with my camera, and I did the voiceover for that. You know, I was a narrator.
Was it just your, like... what age were you at that time?
Well, this was like a year later, I think around 2006, so I would have been about 11.
It's just your 11-year-old voice.
Yeah,
just
and then
like...
Mina had a bunch of Doctor Who props and toys, and eventually it went from being like toys and moving to actual acting, where Mina himself would play the Doctor, because you know, Mina has to play the Doctor. And then, you know, years later, when Boris is brought into that, Mina and Boris would do their own Doctor Who things, and I would sort of stray away from that.
Yeah.
They even did their own Doctor Who full-on series, which they have somewhere on DVD. I watched it a couple of years ago recently, just looking back, and it's like, wow. And I'm trying to think, I wonder if Mina still has me and his Doctor Who series.
Yeah, okay.
But then eventually that led on to one thing, and then before I went into high school, I got a PSP. I upgraded my camera to the PSP camera.
Yeah.
The Go Cam, which was much better than the camera I got. The quality for 2007, 2008 was amazing. It was sort of like early YouTube quality, though thinking back, the sound was absolutely terrible. But I didn't have access to a recorder, so I just sort of had to make use of what I got. And one of the first few things I did with this is I made my own show.
Yeah.
And because I was so creative and I was inspired by sort of the MTV-ish sort of stuff like Viva La Bam, Jackass and whatnot, I wanted to do my own reality show where, you know, I'm just sort of like goofing about, you know, filming myself amateurish. I was heavily inspired by that shit.
Skateboarding.
Well, yeah, skateboarding. Even though I wasn't
kicked in the balls.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just saying, you know, like you chucking Jackass and people Obama. It's the first thing that goes to my head, you know, a bit of skateboarding, a kick on the balls, that kind of thing. I understand where you took parts of inspiration from it. Yeah.
Even though I never did any of the stunts, I was just sort of like the filmer, presenter, and whatnot.
All right, yeah.
I just called it the Andrew Martin Show, and I was so heavily passionate about this. Like, this is when I was in my full-on editing stage.
Yeah.
And this was sort of when I transitioned from Windows Movie Maker to Sony Vegas.
All right.
So even though I did most of the editing on Windows Movie Maker, the later stuff I sort of did with Sony Vegas, where I was sort of like experimenting with green screening like text and animations over it, even if it was just like simple like boxes in the corner, like logos and whatnot. Kind of like what the early Jackass episodes did. And the Andrew Martin Show. And what I remember is the theme song for that was it was one of my favorite Metallica songs, which I can't listen to anymore without thinking of this. It's the song "Sad But True." Anytime I play that song, I just get flashbacks to my own show, and I did 6 episodes of these. Yeah. And never progressed any further than that. And I was on a... It's the thing though, I made this show, but I never had a YouTube channel. I didn't even have a Bebo page for it. It was sort of a show I just had on my hard drive and only just showed it to my friends and family here and then.
Yeah, because what year was this in again?
This was about... this would have been the summer leading up to high school, and I did this throughout first year.
So that's like
2007, 2008.
Yeah, so like even then, like YouTube's in its like early stages. I mean, I think YouTube was made in like 2005, and then like 2007, 2008. That's when it started like getting sort of bigger and stuff like that. Not what it is now, but like that's when people started taking a notice to it and stuff.
It was also because I was under 13, and I remember very specifically you had to be over 13 to have a YouTube account.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, I didn't want to break the rules or anything, so I was sort of just like, you know what, I'm just going to make this, and when I'm old enough, I'll make my own YouTube stuff.
All right, yeah, okay. That's interesting.
After that, the Andrew Martin Show just sort of just ended, and then This is sort of when we started to,
Yeah.
become closer friends and started doing our own
No,
video
because we
thing.
met in like first year in high school.
But we didn't really do video stuff straight away.
No, it took till I think it was like second year, end of first year, beginning of second year.
Yeah.
That was when it was. It was like a summer there, and then like we started making videos. With that PlayStation camera, same camera.
And eventually you got your own PSP, and I don't know if you had your own camera.
I eventually got it, but it was like
a different version of it.
Yeah, it was a different version. It was years later.
Yeah, must have been an update. Must have been an upgraded version for mine because you got a much more advanced model than I did, and that was pretty cool.
But what we made like we started off with. I mean, what was the first thing we made?
From the top of my head, it has to be. The successful follow-up to the Andrew Martin show was its successful spin-off with, I think we did 2 episodes of this. We did a web series called Fridays Are Funniest.
Yeah, and Fridays Are Funniest was it was on a Friday, wasn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, every Friday on Bebo.
Every Friday for 2 episodes. That was it. So we did 2 Fridays. And this was when Bebo was big. Before Facebook, there was Bebo.
Oh.
I mean, there was MySpace and that as well, but Bebo was there, and that's what we were on. And we made a group for it, for this Bebo page. It was just like Fridays Are Funniest, and then we took inspiration from other
Bebo web shows that I've sort of discovered around the time.
Yeah, that. And then just that general idea that obviously like wanting to make videos, having this camera and thinking, well, we can just make a video and stuff like that. We thought, I can't really remember our mentality was at the time. We were just like, oh, just make a video and we'll put it online. It'll be okay.
I can't even remember what we talked about in those episodes. I think what I remember is we sat on the bench in your back garden and just placed the camera down on the ground, and it's sort of just like a shot of us, from looking down to up, and it's just, we're talking. It's like, hi, I'm Andrew Martin, I'm Kennedy Scopa, and this is, and we both said it together.
Yeah.
Fridays are funniest. Here's a little throwback to all you.
It's actually so
hardcore fans.
It's fucking cringy as shit thinking about it, to be honest. Like, it really is.
That's what makes it so perfect, though.
Exactly.
Yeah. To be fair, we were young. This was just sort of this. Experimenting with our creativity, and this would lead on to other things down the line.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, yeah, we can't really remember the topics of it. I think Fridays the Funniest was meant to have it was meant to be like us talking about things that were going on at the time and be like, oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, it's like now. We're talking about things right now. Not in the time, but it was like us talking about things that going on at the time and like a few little comedy skits throughout it. It was meant to be like, sort of like random things. Because I remember we filmed a bit that was in one of the episodes that was us with the Mentos and Coke. That made it in. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And there was another one where we were walking back from KFC one time and we filmed it at like the bit in like along the route along there, basically. Back to your house.
Oh, was this this was the KFC on Southside, wasn't it?
Southside, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were walking back, we filmed a bit there. But I can't really remember what we talked about in this. I just remember that it was Fridays, it was on Bebo, and then like I can't remember like how many people watched it. Enough that I got questioned about it at school, and it was embarrassing. It was like people were like, "Love your web show." It's like you watched 1 episode of it. Yeah, so I got questioned about it once or twice at school, and I wasn't too not happy about it. I just it didn't seem like it was one of those things where like nobody ever posted a comment, but yet people were obviously watching it, and we just didn't look like it. I think you can see the views then. I can't really remember how it worked. It was a long time ago.
I don't recall exactly, but I do recall if someone went up to you and was like, "Oh, I love your show." You don't know whether they're just taking the piss or not, and that was just sort of just like. I don't know. We eventually stopped, and then we moved on to other things. One in particular was, I think it was towards the end of second year when we did Activity Week. It's when we did our first movie together.
Oh yeah. We made spoof movie.
Oh yes, the first Andrew and Kenny production.
Yeah. It was me, Andrew, and another person because they had no group to go to, so they were in our group. But it was alright because. We learned to get along with that person. Maybe we weren't too sure about them at the beginning, but as time went on, it was. But
then we ended up making something that we were actually very proud of.
All 3 of us just made.
We even made a Bebo page for it.
We made a Bebo page for that.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. Oh yeah, I do, because there was like a picture of eyes on it or something like that, wasn't there?
Aye.
What the fuck was that about?
I do not
Whose
know.
eyes were those?
I think they were yours.
Were they mine?
Aye.
That's a bit weird.
Most of the screen capture in the movie were just pictures taken about school that I made a poster for it, which was on the Beeble page. The Beeble page is long gone, but the poster of it is still on the internet. Like, I googled spoof movie, and that's what came up. I'll have to post it eventually. And I hope of all the projects that we made in the past, I hope that's the one that still survived, because God damn it, I want to watch spoof movie again.
Yeah, spoof movie. It will look back and it'll be terrible, but it was definitely worth doing. It was great.
It had charm to it.
Yeah, I guess.
Real nostalgic charm.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're heavily inspired by the scary movies, the superhero movies. I was actually watching a scary movie last night, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it still holds up pretty well.
First one does.
Yeah, first one does. And I watched a bit of the second one as well. Second one even still has some good laughs. Can't really remember much of the third and fourth one. I never saw the fifth one, though. You know, if you carried on to a fifth one, would it even be good? But anyway, I'm getting off topic here.
Yeah. We made spoof movie, and that was great fun. We learned to enjoy that film. Wow. We made a few like little videos here and there. There's a few little short like sort of videos. I can't remember when, but I remember there was that one that I made. There was like a hole in my back garden. Remember that one? We made it with my brother.
Oh yeah, that was a couple of years later, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, it was. I remember. Yeah.
Eventually, that's when I evolved from the PSP camera to I use this in quotations HD camera.
Yeah.
A Sony HD camera that wasn't even. It was more 720p HD.
Yeah.
Even though it was advertised to be 1080p, it was a crappy camera. But you know, for the time, it was still pretty good because we made the most of it.
Yeah.
With just this 3-minute film where there's a hole in your back garden, and I'm just looking, and then
you CGI'd a hand coming out of it.
Oh, that was green screened, was it not?
Oh yeah, it was green screened. Yeah. That was quite funny.
That was back when I got my first ever green screen off Amazon, and that was when I was like, oh my goodness, things are going to change. This is revolutionary, and made a couple of test videos, which, oh god, I just have to say this. My first test video was me going Super Saiyan.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember it, yeah.
Yeah, but it was just me with green, and I'm sort of just like going, and then you just see me turn yellow. And I punched the camera. I'm like, let's do this. It's so cringy, but I felt I had to mention it because it's so fucking cringy, man. And if I had the video for it, then I would probably just post it for nostalgic charm.
Yeah.
And you know, even for the time, the green screen was not too bad. And eventually, I would lend that green screen to Mina and Boris for their later films.
Yeah.
I think they still have it.
All right.
Though I don't think they've used it, but I definitely think they still have it.
Yeah. Well, going back to the PSP, because I was more going for the topic of the few things in the PSP and its camera that we filmed. We filmed like a few little videos here and there, and it was more like just taking sort of, we see something, we'd be inspired by it, we would make a little video of our own like rendition of it, I guess, like sort of the way that we'd make it and stuff like that. Like, because everything, there was no like copyright to sort of just people putting videos on the web. You could just sort of like copy them and sort of make your own sort of spin on it and stuff like that. We did a bunch of those basically because it was more entertaining and fun. And then we'd spend, you know, it would be like a weekend. It would be like Friday, you'd leave school, you'd like sit around, think of an idea, be like, oh cool. You'd go out, you'd film it, you'd come back, late afternoon to evening would be spent editing that, it'd be done. You'd be back home. Saturday, Sunday, it'd be up on like YouTube or something like that. That's how it worked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, that was like most Fridays. So you had like a bunch of these videos here and there along the way. So it's pretty cool, yeah.
Because I remember most of the locations that we filmed one of them was in my old primary school, actually.
Yeah.
Like in the weekend, obviously, when all the kids are away and whatnot. I think we filmed a couple sketches here and there.
We did the random one.
Oh, yeah.
The random one was just like, we had like a video of just, because we could put, it was like throwing a ball or something like that, or like kicking a ball, and then just replaying it backwards and forwards because we took inspiration from somebody's video, and then we did it ourselves, and it was just because you could like play it back and forth.
That was around the time when I learned how to reverse clips back and forth on Sony
yeah,
Vegas.
That's why we did it. Because you were like, oh, I can do that, and I was like, let's do it then. Let's just go film a video of us kicking a ball around.
Which, much like going back to Windows Movie Maker, was sort of just like at the time revolutionary for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, video editing has, you know, advanced so many ways. I mean, there's even things that I couldn't even do that I've not even tried yet.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future holds? Because I can't remember the last time we've made a sketch or I've made a sketch in general.
Yeah.
So majority of the stuff we made, that was like from 2008 to 2010, 11ish. Like, we just made stuff here and then. We didn't make stuff all the time because around that time, that was sort of when we started making more stuff with Mina and Boris. And that was around 2010ish was when I started making films with Mina and Boris again. Because they sort of did their own thing. So that was when they started. The first film I made with them again in a while had to be like The Bullet Dodger and Mina, Boris, Two Bikes in a Stolen Box.
Yeah.
And then the Mr. EV show, which eventually you came into and did like a couple episodes on that.
Yeah.
And that was only like 2 episodes long. But that's long
it's
archived by now.
See, but the curse of the 2 episodes. Like, you can only get about 2 episodes of a show and then that's it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, 'cause saying that, you got your 6 episodes out for the Andrew Martin show, so.
I was planning to do like 14 episodes and I was wanting to do like a season 2 and tried to reboot it in 2010 with me and Mina.
Yeah.
Where it was just me and Mina going out into town for the day. We went into HMV and I just filmed the entire thing. And I edited it and I'm thinking, nah, this is crap.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just interesting how like things sort of evolve and change as years go on and stuff like that. And you get new things and you try new things and then you're like, oh, this works, this doesn't work. Or you're just like, oh, this is a cool idea, let's do this. And then we look back in hindsight and you're like, okay, it wasn't too good, or it's just nostalgic basically. But it's interesting to sort of think about these sort of things, I guess.
Yeah.
It improves how you where you get to and how you've got to there. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm definitely not going to reboot the Andrew Martin show for the 3rd time because I already did that twice. I think that ship has long gone sailed.
Yeah.
Maybe Friday's Our Funniest reboot, Kenny?
No,
No,
it's not rebooted.
I mean, we already have this, so
Exactly.
this is the closest you're going to get, people.
I don't think anybody's looking for it, to be honest. I think most people have forgotten about it. I think it's only us that remembers because we were in it.
Only up to this point, anyway.
Yeah.
But
people might remember it now.
I don't know. I'd like to do sketches again here and then. If I have the proper camera and equipment, I just like to do random sketches like old.
Yeah, I mean, majority of the things that I do, that like, if I make a video of something, it's either gonna be I just use like I play a lot of video games. I do a lot of video game videos and stuff like that. I would make a video on them. Like just playing the game, more like the funny parts from it, like cool moments, cool or funny bits and stuff like that. That's the sort of thing that I would make out of a video game sort of video. Other than that, every now and then there's a recording of something small skit or sketch or something like that I make, usually with my brother. Usually, they pretty much all involve my brother. He's the one that's got the camera, and we've got quite a creative mind between the two of us, so we'll just make something like that. Plenty of horror movies. Maybe I'll eventually get them on YouTube. I'll see. I'll talk to my brother.
I can't wait for that date when that finally comes.
It would be great though, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Those little horror stories. They're quite horror videos. They're absolutely great.
I can't wait to see them.
You can see them. I'm not sure. It's all about whether my brother wants to see them. I'll talk about it. We'll see.
But yeah, that's sort of our past on video editing and all the sketches we done. And
I mean, I'd say here's to the future. There's plenty more video editing to come.
I'll definitely say this with a vow that I will definitely, in the future, continue to make sketches at one point because I love doing those, and doing sketches are fun. And with YouTube becoming more and more popular, and with so many ideas that I have in my head and written down that I've not even pursued yet, it's just all a matter of time, money, and who I can get to help with.
Yeah, but it's more. Yeah, you can do sketches and stuff like that, but I think it's like a good point of this is like when we were doing this, it was never about like any sort of like getting money or getting people to like watch these sort of things. It was more just about doing these sort of things because you enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing, and I think that's the same thing that will live on with these sort of sketches and the things that the things that you create, Andrew. They're always about what you want to do. Then you just create it, and then it's like, there we go. Yeah, you just dust your hands off, and then you're like, oh, let me just think of my next sketch. Maybe it'll just pop up into your mind or something like that, basically.
Yeah, from 2 gonks that are just talking to each other on the kitchen shelves, to me and Mina doing our own Doctor Who's, to me doing my own reality show, from us talking about why Fridays are funniest, to us doing our own spoof movie. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how much has changed all throughout the years.
You started from one small thing to like advancing all the way through. Yeah.
Started from the gonk and now I'm all the way up here.
Yeah.
That was a terrible pun. I'm so sorry. That was way too forced. But anyway, we move forward.
Yeah.
So, story time, people. Kind of wish we had like a wee jingle to do our story times.
You
but
can just make one on the spot if you want.
It's story time.
No, we're shutting it down.
No. Okay, whatever.
We're not doing that.
Okay, so story time. We go back in time to the magical year 2010.
You couldn't remember in years.
I always remember it in years. I remember it was a nice day. It was a nice year.
It was a nice day. 2010 was a nice day.
It was the last year before this year is when we had lots of serious snow in the country.
All right, okay, yeah.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was one of the biggest summer blockbusters that me and Kenny went to see.
It's a good one.
And it was the year where I officially stood up in front of my entire year and belted my lungs out to one of the most popular songs at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was interesting. So a little background into this, I'd say, is we did drama in high school. Yeah?
Yes, we did.
And we are quite used to sort of being on stage and performing something like a little dramatic piece, usually funny, sometimes serious and message and stuff like that to other people. But you'd never sang in drama.
No, I didn't. I was mostly just... well, I played over-the-top characters. Like, I played a Ned, I played an old man and all whatnot. You know, just be funny. But I've never, actually sang my heart out in front of people.
Yeah, but...
And there's a good reason for that, because I can't sing for shit.
But back in 2010, they were having this Christmas karaoke, right?
Only for the fourth years, because that was a fourth-year tradition.
Oh, yeah. It was a fourth-year tradition. They had a Christmas karaoke at our school. And it was like, you could sign up for it, couldn't you? It was all signing up for it.
Yeah.
And you turn up, you tell them your song and your name, and that would be it, basically. And we saw it, and I said to Andrew, because at the time...
It was that Family Guy episode that played the song The Bird is a Word.
Yeah, Surfing Bird.
That's kind of what brought the song back from popularity.
That song was around at the time, and I said to Andrew, you do that karaoke. You should do the karaoke. You should do it to Surfing Bird. And then I'm not sure at first you were like too keen on it.
Yeah, because it wasn't just like the drama group. This was our entire school year. So I was feeling so fucking nervous. So I was like, "What? You kidding? The entire school year will know about this?"
Yeah, the entire school year. Instead of like our drama group and a bunch of people that did drama, that was kind of like sort of, considerably less amount of people doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different from doing it to 20 people to 100 people.
Yeah, exactly. So. You weren't too keen on it. I said, well, at the time, Facebook is also kind of big. I said, how about I make a Facebook group saying 50 likes, Andrew Martin will sing Bird is the Word at the karaoke. And I posted it, and first I asked your permission, of course. And you were like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. You probably thought, it won't get 50 likes. It'll probably be okay.
It got well over 50 likes.
It got a lot of likes.
A lot of people saw it and they were like, yes, Andrew Martin has to do this. I would die to hear Andrew Martin sing on stage. And I was thinking, oh, fuck.
So I should have made it more than 50 likes, but yeah. I mean, at the time, we also, I think what I recall is, like, there was a lot of pages that used to be, like, 50 likes and stuff like that, so I just went, 50.
I did it for Mina and
Boris.
Boris.
That's quite a lot of people.
I did it for Mina and Boris, and that's how they got Facebook.
Oh, yeah, because they said 50 likes, they'll get Facebook. They got 50 likes, then you said to them, by the way, you got 50 likes, they're like, okay, make a Facebook.
Seemed very fair, to be honest. I mean, at first they were kind of like, I don't want to be on Facebook, but I was like, you have to be on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. I mean, literally, now everybody's on Facebook, even though people are like, oh, I don't want to be on Facebook, are on Facebook now. Yeah.
So I said 50 likes. I made a Facebook group that said 50 likes and Andrew Martin will sing Surfing Bird at the karaoke. And yeah, it got well over 50 likes. And so you signed up, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to let the people down. It was like, you know what, I was true to my word. I was like, right, go over 50 likes. I'll have to do it.
Yeah, so...
And even though word eventually did go out from Barrowmuir to James Gillespie's, I don't think I told Mina and Boris directly. They found out through the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, you're doing this. That's so awesome. I was like, oh shit.
How was the process for you? I mean,
I signed up, told our year head what song I was going to do, and then it was eventually me getting a copy of the song onto a USB and then giving it over to the sound people. And then I think it was a couple nights before, I was starting to feel really nervous. I was like, oh my goodness. But and the mindset is like, wait, I'm not the only one doing this. The other people in our year are going to be singing as well.
Yeah, it's a karaoke for everyone in our year, so there was plenty of other people that signed up.
Everyone was going to have fun. I was thinking, oh my God, I can't sing. People are going to take the piss. And I was just like, I was just trying to get my mind off it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then, I don't think I've told you this before, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be really funny if I sang a completely different song? And I had that mindset in my head, and I was thinking, no, people are going to kill me if I, did
Oh
that.
my God, that would have been absolutely terrible.
I would have been an absolute dick move on my part.
Imagine the music playing to Bird is the Word, to Serpent Bird, and then you sing a completely different song. It would sound, one, awful, and two, everyone would just sit there like, confused as hell.
I would have got the instrumental and I would have sang, somebody once told me the world is... That would have been a complete middle finger to everybody. But no, I didn't. I just got the word and then got the word.
Lol.
And I remember the day very well. We had our first two subjects, and then word actually got out even more because there were some people on the day who was like, oh my goodness, I had no idea you were doing karaoke today. I was like, I'm surprised. What, were you living under a rock the entire time?
Yeah.
And then I had to go over to the hall early, like most of the other folk.
See, what I remember on the day, hold on. What I remember was when we were in the cafeteria, right? And we were talking, and a bunch of me and a bunch of our friends at the time were like, sing Bird is the Word here, like practice it here at least once. And it was decent. It was decent. I say that.
Oh,
it was decent when we were there, right? It was actually pretty decent, right? That's all I want to say. You should continue.
Well, thank you very much. I went over. I think we were just doing practice. We were getting the hall set up.
Yeah.
I didn't actually practice because I was like, well, I know this song. I've heard it many times, and it's not like there's a lot of different lyrics. It's basically just the same word.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it was good I did that song as opposed to another song.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, all I'm saying is bird. The bird is a word. I was like, fucking hell, I can do that easily.
Yeah.
The moment where my heart dropped is I heard a lot of noise. I opened one of the doors where all the people were coming in, and they were all waiting outside. I was like, oh, fuck. And it wasn't just you guys. I think the third year drama people who had drama at the time also came along.
Yeah, because that's what happened with us when we were in third year. We were able to see the year above's karaoke as well.
Oh, yeah, that was a blast. But that's a story for another time. So eventually everybody started getting seated. All the people who were performing were sitting at the front. Mm-hmm. And
because you could easily get up on stage from there.
Yeah. So, I was feeling more and more nervous as my turn was approaching. But eventually I was announced. I was like, okay, let's move on. The next song is Surfing Bird, and here comes Andrew Martin. And as I walked on stage and I heard everybody cheering, I went on the stage and said, hello, because it was the first thing that came in my head. And then one of the girls in the audience made like a chicken noise, I remember.
What?
It's on the video. The video of it is on YouTube, by the way, if you want to look. And that's the noise I heard. And then the music started playing. I just belted it out.
Yeah.
And I saw the looks on people's faces. I think a few folk had their ears covered because of how awful my voice was. Or I don't know if they were just doing it to take the piss. And
I think it was quite loud. Like, I think the sound was actually pretty loud that day.
My voice was a bird, the bird is a bird. Because that was the voice I was doing, and I think most people were like, oh, Jesus Christ, Andrew. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so nervous, just keep going. I was panicking, I was trying not to panic.
I can still imagine it.
And then, of course, I was doing this voice. I think most people were kind of like, oh, yeah, man, yeah. And then other people were like, oh, God. And here's the embarrassing part. You know, on the song, how there's like a silent moment and it builds up. Mm-hmm. And after the silent moment, they ended the song.
Yeah.
And I was about to sing, and then I was like, there was dead silent, and everyone just started clapping. I was thinking, oh god, I've been cut off. So I just sort of walked off, and I was just sort of like, should I be proud or should I be ashamed? I didn't know how to feel. My feelings were just so confused, and it was like,
yeah,
you know. And then I saw the video later on that was filmed by our friend Duncan, and he uploaded that onto YouTube, and I was just watching that. So it's like, okay, I'm seeing this from another perspective. I'm just sort of letting loose, and I'm just thinking, oh my god, why the fuck did I agree to this? But you know, thinking back, you know, it was fun. It was a fun experience.
It was definitely fun to fucking watch. Oh, it was definitely worth it. It was 100% worth it. It was so good. I tell you what, I'm gonna be brutally honest, right? You fucking sucked when it was on stage. It was so bad. In the cafeteria, it was good, but when we were on stage, it was so bad. I mean, we all cheered regardless because it was great. I say the singing was better in the cafeteria than it was on stage, but it doesn't matter because the atmosphere in that place, the cheering was so fucking good. Like everyone was so hyped for that. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, of all the performances, mine was absolutely the most hyped. I don't know what that says about me as a person or if my performance.
I just think it was just funny, you know, like someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna go sing Bird Is the Word" at a karaoke, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh yes!"
And of course, that was the last day before the Christmas break. So yeah. The lead up to coming back to school in the next year was I didn't even know what to make of that. I was like, oh god.
I mean, I know it's gonna be pretty. It's pretty scary, actually, coming back. You're not sure, well, because after that, we just sort of left. Did we not go to cinema that day, actually?
Yeah, we saw Little Fockers.
God, what a crap film.
That's the one thing I remember from it, day. And we had a nice little cheeky Nando's afterwards.
Oh, that's right, then. That actually makes up for it. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, it was like a Nando's.
Should have bought your Nando's, actually, after that performance.
You made the page. You made me go on stage, and I'm like, you buy me a damn Nando's.
I should have bought it. Yeah, I obviously didn't think at the time. Maybe I didn't have as much money.
Nah,
makes sense.
Well, you know, to be fair, we didn't have any jobs. We were only 15, 16,
true,
and whatnot,
yeah.
and it was like. But you know, I got back. I think a few folk make a few jokes about it, and I was like, but eventually it just died off.
Yeah. I was wondering what it was like when you came back and a bunch of people said like, oh, Bird's the Word, and then it just eventually just saw.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought it would have never ended, but no. But you know, thinking back, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. I don't regret it. You know, a lot of people enjoyed it, even if it was for, you know, not the reasons I expected.
Although like it died off, I think everyone remembers it. I don't think anybody remembers it in bad light. I think everyone remembers it as, oh, remember that karaoke with Surfing Bird and Andrew Martin? They're like, yeah, that was great. I think everyone was like, yeah. Regardless of whether they had that cover in their ears, I think they'll look back and go, that was pretty great. Because it was pretty great. There was some good things in the karaoke, I'll be honest, but that was the best. The standout moment of that karaoke was so funny.
I absolutely
and
destroyed
everyone
that.
was cheering that, like, people going fucking mental for it. At least I did. I went mental for it. My role went mental for it.
It must have had a standing ovation, because in the video, I can't mind who it was, but they actually just stood up, clapped, and just went woo.
I know who it was. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll see it. You'll see it in the video. I'll need to share it at some point. You know, just
you can stick it on the page if it's still there. I'm pretty sure it's still there.
It is. It is.
You checked it recently. Okay.
So I'll post the video back on the page if you haven't seen it before, and give it some support. Give it some love. Make Surfing Bird great again.
It's gonna be so interesting.
Eventually, though, later along the line, not related, but I still ended up doing karaoke later along the line. I think a song I'm much better at is Ring of Fire.
Yeah, you like that one.
Yeah.
I know that as your karaoke song now, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, what if I ended up doing Ring of Fire instead? Like, obviously, it wouldn't have been as memorable.
Yeah.
Because I did. There's a video of me doing Ring of Fire on my Facebook somewhere. And then there's another one I uploaded onto YouTube. It was about 2 years ago. I was in Opium. I was drunk though as well, but I was singing Ring of Fire, and I was so damn proud of it. I sang the entire song.
Yeah.
And what I remember is my friend Liam was on the stage with me, and he was like, "Oh, let's do a duet." And then my friend Willard just jumped on the stage and then grabbed Liam and was like, "Right now, you're coming with me," and just pulled him off. And I was just trying not to laugh.
A duet for Ring of Fire.
I don't know. He was drunk, and he already did the song before me, and because I was on stage, he was like, oh, and he just ended up dancing instead. I was just like, piss off, Liam. But no,
Okay.
but no. I think when it comes to karaoke, even if I'm good or bad, I just enjoy doing it regardless. But I think Surfing Bird and Ring of Fire are one of the songs I'm comfortable doing, unless there's any other songs I've not tried yet. But
Yeah.
you
I mean, maybe you can do that Metallica song one day to your, to your intro. You know?
sad but true.
just you're just on stage karaoke, sad but true, Metallica song play, and you've just got flashbacks to your Andrew Martin show like while you're singing it.
I always remember that. I always remember that
makes me
crappy
fun.
intro where it's a cutout of my face where I'm just like this, and it's one of those crappy MS
they're
Paint
not
cutouts.
gonna be able to see that face.
Oh no, but I am in my head if I'm singing it.
I got to see it there, but it was like it was almost like an angry look at it. It was like a disapproving looking face.
Ah, and I took that on my PSP camera as well. It was one of the pictures I took.
Why
from
did
it.
you take a disapproving face for your thing? You wanted to look professional.
Yeah, I did.
That's what it was. Okay.
I want to look professional in a crappy MS Paint cutout intro I did for my show I did when I was 13.
Fair enough. I mean,
Because, you know, my standards were pretty damn high. But, man, that's something. That is something to look back on.
yeah.
But, yeah, that's just about it. That's our story.
Yeah.
So, you looking forward to Avengers tonight?
Definitely, man.
Yeah, so...
Gonna get my tickets after this. I mean, I haven't got a ticket. One ticket, of course. But I haven't got my ticket yet.
Yeah, so you don't have to wait in queue.
Basically. Well, you still have to wait in queue, probably. But I won't have to...
You won't have to. You won't have to wait in two
wait,
queues.
wait, I wouldn't have to wait in 2 queues. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Are you buying snacks? Or
Nah. It's midnight. I won't be hungry then.
No, yeah, don't even buy a drink. My plan on Friday is to go the entire afternoon without a drink until I get to the film. I'm getting dinner at the cinema as well because I'm going to the Wester Hales Odeon with Megan.
All right.
So and they do pizza there.
All right. Okay.
And because I get paid in that day, and I was like, oh well, we'll just have pizza there while we're having Avengers, and I'm staying right to the very end.
Oh yeah. I'm 100% staying right to the very end as well. Like, I'm not missing a single thing of that.
I don't care how long this film is. Like I want to see that. I want to see that post-end credit scene.
I think it's like 2.5 hours, and then you get half hour as well. So it's gonna be like 3 hours. Like your half hour credit of trailers. So it's not gonna be like 3 hours. If I'm seeing this at midnight, I'm getting out at 3 in the morning. I mean, I can walk home, but
I don't know if they'll have trailers for a midnight showing because going back to when I saw Justice League, they never had any trailers for the preview, and I know that because I was like 5 minutes late, and they already showed like most of the Batman segment for that film, and I was like, well, I say most of it, but it's like they missed like 5 minutes of Batman in the opening. I'm like, wow. So I'm not risking that for Avengers if they choose not to show any trailers for it, which I can't imagine why they wouldn't, but they did it once before, and I don't want to risk being late for Infinity War.
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's quite weird.
But anyway, so when we meet up for the next episode, we will be talking about Infinity War.
Yeah, it's
And,
been out long enough by that point.
Yeah, and very dead set on spoilers, so I think we'll talk a good depth about it. So don't watch the next episode until you've seen the film.
Yeah,
I highly recommend that. So we'll see you for episode 9. I've been Andrew Martin.
I've been Kenny Scobie.
Have a wonderful week.